This is Beer in Front, part of the Beer Media Group. Every week I'll talk to people in and around the beer world and get their stories all about beer. That's Beer in Front, and it's coming up now. Welcome to episode 255 of Beer in Front. I'm your host, Dave Zalatoris, and Beer in Front is a charter member of the Beer Media Group. I mentioned on last week's show I wasn't sure if I was getting to an episode this week, but I made time. I talked to Dan and Cara Payson from Kishwaukee Brewing Company. They're in Woodstock, Illinois. We've been trying to get together for at least a year now. Finally, our schedule synced up, so I talked to them a little bit, and then hopefully in the next month or so, I'm going to get out there because I'm going to include one of their beers in my food and beer series, which you're just going to have to stay tuned and listen to the interview. I'm not going to tell you the whole thing and make you stop. Listen to the whole thing. It was a good time talking to both of them, and I can't wait to head over to Woodstock and go to Kishwaukee because I'm stoked about that. Illinois Craft Beer Week starts on Friday. So if you didn't get a chance to listen to last week's episode with Ray Stout from the Illinois Craft Brewers Guild, once you're done with this episode, go back, listen all about Illinois Craft Beer Week, find out details on beer under glass, which should be a fabulous time. When you're listening to the interview with Cara and Dan from Kishwaukee, if something sounds a little wonky, it's totally my fault. I can't blame this on autocorrect. I would like to, but it's just my dumbass. So when I do an interview, I type most everything out, like the intro, and I do an outline of the questions I want to ask. So at least that way I know and I don't skip something that I want to ask. So I write up this nice intro, and I typed in the name of their street wrong. So I recorded the intro again, and then I corrected the street name. So if something sounds a little weird, that's not autocorrect. It's me. My bad. If you'd like to get a hold of me, you could send me an email, dave@beerinfront.com. If you have any ideas, show suggestions, a food and beer pairing, I'd love to hear about it. Shoot me an email, and I'll definitely get back to you. Also, if you'd like to support the show, head over to patreon.com/beerinfront for more information. In beer and beverage news, Off Color here in Chicago has a couple of great things. They've got a new raspberry beer for golf. If you show up on Thursday, May 8th at the Mousetrap, you get this really sweet looking glass. So head over to Off Color on the 8th to get raspberry beer for golf and that fabulous looking glass. And also, Off Color has announced they're going to have beer for beaches. It's a summer ale. This looks really good. Now, according to the email, it's going to have all the notes of the sex on the beach cocktail without that huge amount of sugar or the alcohol. It's a farmhouse ale hopped with Cascade and then re-fermented with a cranberry concentrate like lemon and peach. So this looks really good. You know, everything Off Color puts is great. So you also got to check out Beer for Beaches. The annual Craft Brewers Conference was held last week in Indianapolis. So there wasn't really a lot of other beer news going on because everyone was in Indy. But the World Beer Cup was last week, and you've got to head over to worldbeercup.org. You could look at all of the winners. But Illinois took home some medals. You had places like Workforce, Ninth Hour, White Oak, Adams Street, Brothership, Revolution, and Go Brewing took home a couple medals in the non-alcoholic category. So congratulations to the Illinois winners and to all of the winners around the world. Kishwaukee Brewing Company is located at 1900 Dillard Court in Woodstock, Illinois. They've been a vital member of the Illinois beer community since 2020. They not only have some killer, award-winning beer, but their logo is one of the finest around as well. And I'm going to be buying a dad hat when I get out there. Joining me now from Kishwaukee is Dan and Cara Payson. Thank you so much for coming on today.
Thank you, Dave. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
It was great to meet you last year. Looking forward to it.
Yeah. I mean, we've been trying to get together for well over a year, but, life gets in the way and all of that. But I remember one thing when, looking at Google Maps to, find it. You guys have a farm and fleet out over by you? That's amazing.
We go there often.
All right. That's for,
Anna Menard. We also have a Menard.
That's for city people like me. So we buy our Carhartts so it looks like we work for a living. So yes, I'll be stopping at Farm and Fleet too.
Definitely.
Yeah. Are you both originally from the Woodstock area?
So I grew up a little closer to Barrington. So same area, but about, probably about 20 minutes, 25 minutes away. But yeah, we moved out to Seattle for about 10 years and then we've been back for about 10 years now. So yeah, we chose Woodstock because we love the community and love talking with everybody.
I was in Cary for a little bit, and then
What made you start a brewery, and especially in 2020?
Well, that's a good question. So in Seattle, I was still practicing architecture, and in 2007, when the economy kind of took a tumble, I started homebrewing. So Seattle, Pacific Northwest, West Coast, all had pretty high expectations and what craft beer could be. So I kind of got a segue into that and started making more beer and got my feet wet at some breweries out on the West Coast. Fremont Brewery, I was just bottling as a volunteer, and then went back, worked for an architect, and after that I ended up working full time at a brewery called American Brewing Company. Did that for about 4 years, and then we moved back to Illinois.
All right. Well, looking online here at your beer list, you have a wide selection that focuses on the classic styles like I love. Who doesn't love a good Baltic porter any time of the year? Has that always been the focus at Kishwaukee, to have such a wide selection of styles?
Yeah, we brew traditional style beers and keep it traditional, honor the style, and we're not doing anything crazy, adding wild adjuncts or anything like that. But yeah, we make a West Coast IPA. That's our flagship IPA. Yeah, our Martzen is year round. We make lagers. I'd say our menu right now is about 70% lagers. But yeah, we try to just brew beers according to the guidelines.
Well, Cara, I already see you sipping on something at 11:15 in the morning. What are you drinking right now?
Well, when you get up early, what are you going to do? I'm actually having a Birdie Blonde. So it's one of our newer releases. So we started making it, last year? But we just started bottling it this year. It's really nice. It's got a golf theme. I'll bring up a 6-pack too so you can see it. But yeah, we kind of do at first we just named our beers what they were. Kept it very simple. Baltic Porter, IPA. And then we did what we call our Headwater series. Okay. So we started giving them names. So this one's the Birdie Blonde, but it's just very light, easy, Hellas drinking beer. Yeah, very easy to go, but also, it works on the golf course too. So if you are a golfer or if you're not, it kind of has a little bit of that punnage in there as well.
Now, I noticed from your Instagram feed, and I think from Heather's as well, you distribute in the area so people could pick up your beer. If they're not going to the brewery, they could go to your Jewels or your local liquor stores in the area.
Absolutely.
Okay.
We work with some Miller House distributors, 2 of them, one in McHenry County, another that supplies Kane, DuPage, and DeKalb County. Yeah, so you'll find us in Osco, Finney's, Garfield's, Trader Joe's, some Armanetti's, and then your finer restaurants and pubs.
Beer Bazaar as well.
Yep.
Awesome. So yeah, you can get them all over. I'm sure you guys have been asked, especially in the last 5 or 6 years, why you still put beer in bottles. But this year with all the aluminum tariffs, who's the smart ones now? You guys are.
I don't know. Well, just smart enough. I always like to say just smart enough. But no, I mean, it's a traditional product that we produce and a traditional packaging. And also it really kind of helps us stand out. I don't know. I mean, we love canned beer as well. We drink out of cans every now and then, but the bottles are really a nice way to stand out on the shelves as well. But yeah, we bottle in-house. So
Yep. Everything is done here on site. So
what did we do? 72 cases yesterday at Brown?
84 cases of brown yesterday. And so that's, 36 of them already went out to our McHenry distributor.
Well, looking at the website, like the tap room and the outside area look really good. Now, you mentioned being an architect. Did you design, Dan, the tap room and the outside area yourself?
Yeah, I did all the preliminary design work on the building and, the property. We had a local architect. He's an architect on record. So he did all the permitting and processing on that front.
He comes in for a beer now and then too. So we see him on a regular basis.
That's
What,
a
like
nice,
once a week at least.
Yeah.
it's a nice payment system. Here you
Yeah,
go. Every
tons of
beer, absolutely.
Yep, he's now retired. So
He just became a Mug Club member last year. So
yeah.
Well, the outside area looks really cool. Now, when my wife and I come, can we bring our dog? Is like the outside area dog friendly?
absolutely.
Cool. Bring your dogs. Now, I also noticed you don't serve food, but you have food trucks. Is that correct?
Yep. Correct. Yeah, we do food trucks. We host different local food trucks Wednesday through Sunday.
All right.
So unless something changes, we really like to bring in a variety of different things. So it could be anything from pizza, tacos. We had a plant-based food truck yesterday. We'll have pretzels and Bavarian sausages tonight. So we really mix it up. Burgers on Sunday, all kinds of things. So we really are lucky to have so many different food trucks that are willing to work with us. It's awesome. But I mean, that's a relationship too.
Yeah, I mean, that's a win-win for both. It's good for you. You don't have the necessary overhead and all of that, rigmarole of getting food licenses and all that. And they have a good, willing crowd to want their food. So, yeah, it just seems like a win-win for everybody.
Absolutely.
So, do you guys have anything new coming up for like the summer that you want people to know about?
Beer-wise, we always play around with pilot batches. So we tend to make anywhere from 2 to 5 barrels of a pilot and see how it takes off here in the tap room as an incubator. So this year we'll have a German style Hefeweizen. We have an English bitter. Forgetting something.
Right.
I know we have something coming out of the barrels also.
Okay.
So barrel age, Belgian inspired sours, a peach sour that will be coming out, and then we're gonna start bottle conditioning some of these barrel aged sours. So they'll be in 500 milliliter bottles, individual bottle sale. But yeah.
And then the cherry palm. We just launched a cherry palm.
Okay.
Which is a really nice goza. So it's we call it cherry palm goza. So it's low ABV, but delightful tart, but not sour, but still sweet enough that it really kind of, the tap room has been loving it. So we just kind of did a launch with that. When did we put that out? Maybe 2 weeks ago?
Yeah, 2 or 3 weeks ago.
Okay.
And then also we have Laura Lima, which is a Mexican style lager with lime and salt. We just bottled that starting this year. We did draft only, so same kind of incubator. It really took off well. Accounts started picking it up on drafts, and so now it's available in 6-packs at your finer Benny's, Osco's, and Garfield's and restaurants.
Oh, perfect. Just in time for Cinco de Mayo next week. Yeah.
Yep. But no, when we released it, it was about this time last year, and it took first place right away in the tap room, where usually it's Martin IPA traditionally year round, both when we released that and then the red. Both of those, when we released them, took the top spot really quick. So folks are always looking for something new, but at the same time, they're always looking for something really good.
Yeah.
So it's refreshing, it's light, low ABV, a little bit of salt, a little bit of lime, and it's already in the beer, so you don't have to add anything to it.
Yeah, no, that sounds really good. I think my wife's a huge Goza fan, so I already know which one she'll be drinking. Well, we were talking a little bit before about cooking with food, and I came up with this. I didn't come up with it. I saw this recipe from Craft Beer and Brewing Magazine, which I subscribed to, and they had a recipe for, it was a bratwurst, and it had this Marzen sugar. And you were the first ones I thought of. I'm like, wait, you make it 1 year round, so this is perfect. So I'm going to attempt to make the brats. The sugar is easy enough to do. The brats, I don't know if I'm going to be able to sneak a sausage maker into the apartment. I might just have to go to the butcher and then coat it with the sugar myself and make it that way. But I'm like super stoked to try this. And definitely when, my wife and I come up, I'll have to bring you some to try because that sounds really good.
It sounds amazing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we can't wait to try them. So
Yeah.
hopefully bring enough, and whoever you're in the tap room, you'll be hungry and happy to try them.
Or at least the team. I'll let the team know so they can be here on site too.
Yeah, because I'm thinking like that, or even with like a good pretzel roll or a good mustard, and I think that should be like outstanding.
Absolutely.
You mentioned before, Cara, that like you guys cook with the beer a lot. Is there any like, favorites that you have, like beer inspired dishes?
So, I mean, we started kind of early, especially again, like Dan is talking about kind of just trying things out. I mean, we'll use it in pie dough, honestly, instead of the water. We have a few ladies, a few different companies locally who use it in sourdough as well.
Oh, okay.
So it's great sourdough. Of course, beer brats, obviously. But yeah, what else do we cook with beer?
Yeah, a lot of like slow cooked meats, pork shoulder, brisket, even boeuf bourguignon, like stuff that really has a long, slow cook time. And
Okay.
instead of using wine, why not use our beer? So
Yeah, absolutely.
pork shoulder always turns out great. You can make carnitas with that, or pulled pork. But yeah, those are kind of things I like to play around with.
We've had a couple collaborations where we've so even like Duke's Ale House. So they had a local spot here in Woodstock. They actually use the Pilsner in their pizza dough. So they were using the Pilsner in their pizza dough, and then we worked with them on a collaboration beer as well. But also, I mean, I think locally there have been a few different vendors who have used our beer in different recipes intentionally. Not only like pop-ups and vendors for food trucks, but also local places that are using it to cook with, which is really pretty. It's an honor, but also really pretty cool.
Oh yeah, that's fantastic. Like, you're mentioning the dough. I know I've used before. This is like 100 years ago. Samuel Adams had a recipe on their website for making a pizza dough with their Boston lager. So I'm like, I tried it. I'm like, oh wow, this is really good. So you just use the Boston lager or something similar, in lieu of the water. And I thought that came out terrific.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
it gives it a nice, crackery crust.
All right, well, you guys need to go out to Woodstock. So get in your car. Don't be a clown like me. If you're in the city, you can hop on the expressway, load up your iPass, do whatever you have
Or
to
hop
do.
on the train. There's a train. It comes out to Woodstock.
You got a train?
Well, a train station.
Oh, okay. Like the Metro?
Yeah.
Oh, see, you won't be able to see this. This is audio, but I have my cup here. It's train beer. So I have my cup that I can just drink on the train, but I'll have to take that on the Metro. That's great.
That's great.
Yeah, but definitely head out to Woodstock, to Kishwaukee Brewing Company. Once again, they're at 1900 Dillard Court in Woodstock, Illinois. You got to check them out. The beer menu looks great. The stuff that I've had when I've seen you at Beer Under Glass has been fantastic, and I can't wait to try the rest of the lineup.
Well, and you're going to see Heather there, next week?
Next week.
Yeah, week from today, actually.
Yeah.
Is Beer Under Glass Craft Beer Week, Illinois Craft Beer Week. So go up to Woodstock. Well, Cara, Dan, it's nice to talk to you. Thank you so much for coming on. I really appreciate it, and I can't wait to see you guys next month and have you try these brats.
I can't wait.
Can't wait.
Yeah.
Thank you, Dave.
Thank you, Dave.
No
Have a good
problem.
day.
Yeah,
Hey,
you too.
Cheers.
All right. Cheers.
Cheers.
All right, the beer that's in front of me now is from Costco, of all places. This is the Kirkland Hellas Style Lager. You could pick it up at your Costco. Now, it's made by Deschutes, and it was entered under a different name in the 2023 Great American Beer Festival, and it took home a gold. So it's a solid beer, great price point. I think it's like 13 or 14 bucks, a 12 pack. So a little over $1 a beer. You can't go wrong. So let's crack open the Kirkland Hellas Style Lager. Boy, that's a gold medal can open right there. The Hella Style Lager is a nice light color, good foam, really good carbonation on this. Smells great. It's a beer smelling beer. You gotta love that. It smells fantastic. Really nice flavor to this. Wonderful malt profile here. Get a lot of sweetness from that. I like it. I think it tastes fantastic. Yeah, that's a winner. You can't go wrong with that. Throw it in the cart every time you go to Costco. If you see it, throw it in the cart, which is weird because it's Costco. So you'd think you would have to buy like a 480 pack, but no, they sell it by the 12 pack. So you got to throw it in the cart. I mean, we're throwing that big orange thing that people put like all their cases of water and milks and eggs in. Throw it in that if you have to. But if you see the Kirkland Hella Style Lager, definitely pick it up. It's a fantastic beer for the price. All right, that's going to wrap things up for this edition of Beer in Front. I thank you very much for listening. Once again, I'd like to thank Dan and Cara Payson from Kishwaukee Brewing Company for coming on and talking about their great place. I'm looking forward to heading up there very soon. Have a great week, everyone. Next week's Illinois Craft Beer Week and American Craft Beer Week. So go have a beer. And remember, sometimes the beer in front of you is the best one yet.